Vicky Balch's birthday was just a few days to go, and she was excited to turn 20. Her excitement was on a different level, but no one knew what could happen in the next few hours. This is the story of a young, beautiful girl, Vicky, who was excited to celebrate her birthday with her loved ones. But life had some other plans for her. Vicky was a student at Buxton University working for a degree in spa management, and a very hard-working girl. She loved spending time with her friends. As an extrovert, she loved meeting new people and to hang out with them. She had the rest of her life in front of her, filled with hopes and possibilities. Vicky was excited to celebrate her birthday in the upcoming days with Daniel Thorpe, her new boyfriend. He was a basketball player while she was on the cheerleading team. This was supposed to be a fairy tale, but unfolded into a nightmare really quickly. Not only for Vicky and her boyfriend, but for many other people too. A few days before her birthday, she was leaving for Tenerife with her friends to finally celebrate her birthday. But before she did, she wanted to spend some quality time with her boyfriend Daniel. The young couple decided to skip class and spend a day at the Alton Towers Resort on the 2nd of June in 2015. Not knowing, this was the worst choice the young couple had ever made in their lives. This day changed their lives and futures forever. Alton Towers is home to one of the world's most daring roller coasters, named the Smiler. The ride is known for its unique 14-loop design and its ability to push thriller seekers to their limits. The 18 million pound Smiler ride was known as the world's first 14-looping roller coaster. As the track twists and turns, riders experience a breathtaking combination of high-speed drops, intense twists and turns, and a series of relentless inversions. With a top speed of more than 80 km/h and an adrenaline-pumping ride time of over 3 minutes, the Smiler is sure to have you screaming for more. Whether you're a daredevil or a roller coaster enthusiast, the Smiler is an experience you won't soon forget. And the accident which happened was unforgettable as well. When it was finally time for Vicky and boyfriend to board the roller coaster, they decided to go for the front seats. Full of excitement, as this was one of the most famous rides in the park. Now it was her turn to experience the Smiler, something she had always wanted to try. Each carriage of the coaster held around 16 people, combined in groups of 4, each with a metal harness on their shoulders and a belt tied on their laps. Once the safety procedures were completed, they were all ready to go, and off they went. Racing against its top speed, they noticed a carrier standing still on the tracks. Not knowing if they would crash or not, everyone started panicking. Some of them even jumped out of the carrier, around 25 feet high. But something unfortunate happened. The carriage crashed into another stationary one. The crash was even worse than anyone could have ever imagined. Multiple people were severely injured, and due to the heavy crash, while Vicky and Daniel were seated in the front row, her legs got stuck. They experienced a horror no one could have imagined when the Smiler, her favorite roller coaster, malfunctioned. The details of the accident are truly terrifying. Vicky and her boyfriend were strapped into the roller coaster, their bodies shaking with anticipation, when the ride suddenly jolted to a stop. Without warning, the steel track began to stretch and bend, trapping Vicky and her boyfriend inside and crushing their legs. The screams of pain and terror echoed through the park as their fellow riders watched in helpless horror, unable to do anything to help. The sound of the crash was so loud that the whole park went silent for a minute, and nobody knew what exactly happened, so they rushed near the roller coaster. The emergency service was called straight away. However, they couldn't reach Vicky and the other passengers. Time went by. After waiting 4.5 hours, which seemed a lifetime, everyone was freed from the Smiler, but not unharmed. She told BBC News the whole event felt like a slow motion. The moment we crashed the other vehicle, I felt the metal bars going straight through my right knees. I fainted. Moments later, she woke up when Dan was calling out my name. Everyone was screaming and in panic, while Vicky's pain was unbearable. She looked down and saw blood. Everyone. While waiting, she thought she wasn't going to make it, that she would die on the spot. But one thing was sure, if she would make it out alive, she wasn't able to walk ever again. After going through multiple surgeries, Vicky's leg was amputated. Her boyfriend was more lucky in this event. He broke one leg and has a punctured lung. When asked about Vicky's experience while waiting for hours to be rescued from the ride, Balch has said in the past that all she wanted to do was just die. In the end, emergency responders were able to rescue 16 individuals who had been stuck on the roller coaster when it was tilted at a 45-degree angle. This accident was all over social media, as well as on the news channel widely reported at that time, with the footage of the aftermath being played on the news and social media. The news channel was covering the after scenes and blamed the park's authority people, and they had to face a legal case. The owner of Alton Towers, Merlin Entertainments, swiftly took responsibility for the incident that had occurred on his property. On the other hand, the health and safety executive conducted a comprehensive investigation to determine whether or not criminal charges should be made against Merlin. Although Stewart's was not involved in the criminal case, its clients requested support from the firm during the inquiry. Merlin has informed everyone involved that they will be entering a guilty plea before the hearing. When Merlin Theme Park became the first of its kind to acknowledge this fact, the park made history. During the court, information was presented regarding the numerous mistakes that resulted in this severe crash. Merlin was given a record-setting fine of £5 million. Vicky suffered life-threatening injuries as a direct consequence of the incident, including the amputation of her leg below the knee. In a statement that was released at the request of her family, they said Vicky has had a long and terribly difficult struggle to maintain her leg. Following 7 different procedures, the decision was made to amputate one of her legs. After this crucial surgery, this wasn't over yet. The doctors told her that she might have to undergo other surgical procedures. According to Vicky Balch's attorneys, she underwent 7 rounds of surgery in an effort to save her leg. However, her attorneys announced that their client's bravery has not been rewarded and that her right leg had been amputated below the knee. The family would want to express their gratitude to everyone who has been thinking of them, but at this trying time in their loved one's recovery, they prefer to be left alone. In particular, Vicky and her family would like to extend their gratitude to the doctors and nurses working at the University Hospital for the care and support they have provided. Investigators claimed there was a human error. They say the operator didn't really follow the safety procedures as he had to. Merlin Entertainments, the company that owns the theme park in Staffordshire, has acknowledged that it is entirely to blame for the accident and said that it would compensate all 16 persons who were hurt in the incident. What makes the story even worse is that the roller coaster had been shut down twice before this tragedy. The Smiler had multiple technological problems before. Although they were fixed every single time, it seemed that the Smiler wasn't the safest roller coaster to ride, and so it showed. Luckily, Vicky Balch doesn't want this gruesome event to determine her life. She started her own business as a mobile beauty therapist to show the world a different kind of beauty. Everyone is beautiful, no matter what he or she has been through. A positive message and mindset, although she has been through this dreadful roller coaster crash. The money she received from the settlement gave her the possibility to open her own brand new beauty salon. But her future is bright. She wants to expand her company. The horror of the accident at Alton Towers is a reminder of the dangers of theme parks. The steel tracks of the Smiler, a ride meant to bring joy and excitement to its riders, instead brought crushing pain and suffering. Vicky and her boyfriend were only 2 of the many who were injured in the crash, yet their story stands as a warning of the dangers that lurk in these theme parks. This was all about the Smiler roller coaster. Would you ever dare to ride it? Let us know in the comment section below.